Maddie here. Thank you for coming back for another week, another book here on my channel. I hope that you are following me on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at posting there and working on my engagement. We're working on picking books that I feel people are going to be more interested in, books that I think one to either have already read and are looking for opinions on, or two, they are wanting to read and are looking for opinions on, or three, books that are in like the genre that they like, maybe haven't heard of, but will be interested in if they heard somebody talking about. So we're working on picking books that are more likely to be books that people are interested in. So in that vein, we will be having books that I won't own physical copies of, because we are also now in the realm of books that don't have blogs, which also means they're not likely to get blogs. The blog is not going away. So if you still want to go back and read my blog, go for it. They're still there. I'm still very proud of them. But my new videos won't be getting blogs because that's, at least at the moment, feels like extra work. And I really want to put all of my energy into my videos. So we're in this world of new videos, new books, no blogs. This week we're talking about, it is a book called The Book Swap by Tessa Bickers. I listened to this book in one day. It made me cry. It's really good. Let's read the synopsis before we get into it. A story of second chances and new beginnings. This is a love letter to books and a love letter to life. Still reeling from a recent tragedy, Erin Connolly knows she needs to start living, but has no idea how. When she accidentally donates her favorite book, a heavily annotated copy of To Kill a Mockingbird containing a memento she can't be without, to a local little community library, she's devastated. But then the book turns up a week later, back in the library with fresh notes in the margins, along with an invitation and a copy of Great Expectations to meet her newfound pen pal. A life-changing conversation written only in the margins of beloved classic books begins between Erin and her mystery man, following each other through the pages of their favorite novels. As the book exchange continues, they both begin to open up, falling into a friendship and maybe something more. But Erin and her pen pal have a shared history that neither of them has guessed. Faced with painful reminders of the past and the one person she swore never to forgive, Erin finds herself at a crossroads, one that could change her life forever. A book lover's dream. References to the following classics can be found in the book swap: To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Expectations, Wuthering Heights, Mansfield Park, The Great Gatsby, Middlemarch, Beloved, On the Road, The Bell Jar. For those of y'all that know me, I feel like it should be pretty obvious why this book was why Maddie picked it up. I'll give you a couple of seconds to guess, to just put in the comments why this was a really quick, easy pick for Maddie. It was the anonymity. That is the trope. That is the trope that I just like. I cannot. Grabs me every time. I am a sucker for anonymity. I love it so much. And when it was an anonymity through books, oh my gosh, yes, I needed it. This book is Erin and James. I'm trying to figure out, because, so for those of y'all that don't know me, here on this channel, we do emotionally safe reads. The main thing being with the Maddie guarantee being that at the end of my books, my couple is both alive and together. And that happens at the end of this book. Couple is alive and together. But like I said already, this book made me cry. Not because of anything either of these characters did to each other. That's not it. But one of the big storylines through this book, and you find this out early on, so this is in no way a spoiler, they are part of a trio, and the other part of their trio, her name is Bonnie. She dies of cancer a couple of years before this book takes place. It is after high school, but during kind of, I think, like there would be their college years, and they are now into adulthood and they're in their careers. So that's one of the big storylines is working, especially for Erin, is working through her grief. And kind of part of her whole thing is like yeah, like it says in the synopsis, she's trying to figure out how to live her life. And so she's like, well, what would Bonnie do? Like, what would Bonnie do? Like, how would she do this? Because she was so full of life and she knew how to live life well. Even before her diagnosis, she was just so full of life and she was so fun and she like always made the best of every situation. Like, what would Bonnie do? Because that's what she's trying to do. And James, he's not trying to live like Bonnie, but he's also trying to emulate her and kind of, but in like a quieter way, kind of having the quiet courage to just be who you are and be confident in who you are and the way that Bonnie was. And so Erin's trying to be a little bit more like pre-diagnosis Bonnie, and James is trying to be a little bit more of post-diagnosis Bonnie. And like, I'm trying so hard not to give stuff away. So Erin and Bonnie are best friends, and then James comes into the picture, and then Erin and Bonnie and James have a falling out in high school. So Erin and Bonnie are still friends, but James is no longer friends with them by the end of high school. And then there's like lots of things. So many things happen. There's lots of mixed storylines. It's told from both perspectives of both Erin and James, and it basically flip-flops every single chapter. And I don't know about y'all, but I love dual point POVs. I love it. I honestly, when I'm in a book that only has one POV, when we have both the guy and the girl, I am like, I want both. I am now selfish and I want both. And this book has that and I love it. And it was so good and so cute. And I absolutely adore it. So this is one of the good, bad things about my channel is that I am a spoiler-free channel. So it's so great. You can watch my videos. I think I have a singular, I call it a spoiler full video. So it is where I completely spoil the book for you and you know everything that happens because I'm like, you don't need to read this book, or if you don't want to read this book, here's what happens. All the rest of my videos are spoiler free. So you can watch my videos and you don't have to worry about what you're going to hear because I don't spoil anything. Because also, like I said, all my videos are emotionally safe. You know, your couple gets together. I'm all about that happily ever after. But then I like want to talk about stuff, but I'm like, I think I would consider that a spoiler. So I don't say it, but then I'm like, okay, then how much do I talk about? And then what do I talk about exactly? I mostly want to say, this is how a lot of my videos go. This book is really cute and it's really good. Part of why I like this book so much is I love that it's told a lot through books and that they used literature and like really good classics. Now, to be fair, I have read a good chunk of the books that it lists. So it goes through that list. We're going to go through it again really quick. I've read To Kill a Mockingbird. I have not read Great Expectations. I've only seen the movie. Sorry. I've read Wuthering Heights. I've read Mansfield Park. I've read The Great Gatsby. I have not read Middlemarch, Beloved, On the Road, or Bell Jar. I haven't even heard of the last four. Wuthering Heights is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life. I hate it so much. Don't even get me started. Mansfield Park is one of my all-time favorite books. I love it so much. And so I love, for me, when it got included instead of Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility or Persuasion as the Jane Austen book, I was so happy and so excited because Fanny Price does not get the kudos she deserves. And while, you know, they don't like go into great detail about the books for most of them, they do for the early, like the first like 4 or 5 books, they go way more into like, I picked this book on purpose. And then by the end, they're like, I'm just picking a book to include, to continue this exchange. But the first few books, they're like, I picked this book to make you think about this thing. One of the things I absolutely loved about the book swap is that it's told, the anonymity is told through books, because a lot of the anonymity that I love, like a lot of the other anonymity that it's mostly watched, honestly, is through video games, which I love because I love video games. Like, I think that's really cute. But to have it through books as a book lover was just so cute and so fun. So like that was that was one of the things that really grabbed me about this was that it's the book swap. And it's told through, like, I always say a wee free library. I don't actually know if that's what they're called, but you know, in like neighborhoods, they'll have those little libraries where you can put in a book and you can take a book and it's all just free. That's what this is. It's a community library where you can just like put in a book and you can take a book. That's what this is. That's how they're exchanging these books. It's really cute and it's really fun. So it's just their growth and their development. These two people that were meant for each other from the beginning, but had life happen and were torn apart and then working their way back to each other without them knowing, because if they knew, it wouldn't happen, because people are stubborn and we get in our own way a lot. So I highly recommend this book. It will make you cry because, like I said, one of the big overarching plot lines is this person's death. And like I said, it has already happened. So you're not having to like watch this person die because it has already happened, but you're having to deal with the aftermath of it and the kind of like grieving process. So that's just something to be aware of. It didn't make me like weep or anything like that, but just like a couple of stray tears at a couple of different points. I did listen to it at work. So like there was no point where I had to like excuse myself and like go cry in the bathroom or anything, but just like a couple of stray tears. So just be aware of that when listening to it or reading it, you know, what have you. So I hope that you'll read this book. If you read this book, 1, let me know. I just always like to know if y'all read the books that I recommend. 2, let me know if you've read any of the books that they recommend or like that they recommend to each other in this book. 2, do you annotate books? If so, like, well, just like, I'm just really curious about that. 'Cause for me, I don't typically, because most of the time I think it's way too much work. But I do have like a handful of books that I've annotated, but I will like for like specific quotes and annotating styles, because like there are people that will like full on annotate like all the tabs and highlighters and like go insane, and then people that like are really casual annotators, and then people that don't annotate at all. And I'm really curious if you read them. Also, just like, comment, and subscribe. It seems like a really small goal, but I'm really trying to get to 100 subscribers this year. And if we start now, it's May now. If we can, well, I'm filming this in May, where my goal is to get to 100 subscribers this year. We're at like in the low 80s. I think it's possible. I think we can do it. So like, comment, and subscribe. That would be super awesome, and I would really, really appreciate it. So I think that's everything. With all of that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great night, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. I hope you have all the greats because you're truly worthy and deserving of them. So until next time, 再见. Bye.